bar is set too low for black men. Off rip, I wanted to argue with her, but then I sat there and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I realized she's right. She's right. The bar is set too low for black men. The bar is set so low that we think it's okay to get a woman pregnant and then say things like, I'm not ready to be a father. Or, I told you I didn't want to have a baby. We'll say stupid shit like that as if that excludes us from the responsibility of being a father. As if we didn't willingly nut in that pussy. Also, we get away with shit because the bar is set so low. You ever hear a woman saying, oh, he came to see his kid this month, he's trying? What do you mean he's trying? The bar is set so low that we don't even have to do shit. We don't actually have to perform. All we have to do is fucking try, and we get flowers and awards for trying. Trying. Our women will literally say shit like, well, at least he's trying. What the fuck is that? And then what ends up happening is other black men see it and then they go, oh, I'll just go see my son one time this week. I should be able to get my flowers for trying. Oh, I guess I'll send her $20 for this. Oh, I'll get my kid some sneakers and, I'm being a good dad. And we'll forget all the other shit that comes with being a dad, which is raising the child and spending considerable time with it, teaching it, principles and morals, and actually that child seeing you out in the world actually exercising those principles and morals that you're also teaching. Also, bigger things, setting them up with investment accounts, making sure, they're in karate, they're in gymnastics, the mother, she's busy working, paying for daycare, taking care of the bills. We'll ignore her bills, let her struggle, won't help her, and then we'll sit back and think we're doing something while she's struggling. Won't even pick up the daycare or pick up any of the bills because we think, oh, she just had the baby. Our only responsibility is to the baby, as if we have no responsibility to her at all. Because we feel like as long as we do the tiny little bare minimum, that should be enough to get us our little he's trying award so that we can continue to skate on by. Right. So she was right. She's right. The bar is set too low for black.
Let me tell you that the bar is set in hell. I'm so glad I have a platform now to be able to talk about these things. So a few years ago, I was in a relationship with a man, and I was bringing genuine concerns about my relationship to some of the elders in my family. Won't say their names. And basically, I was told that he's not cheating on you, he's not beating on you, he's a good man. That is bare minimum. It's there's this concept that if he's a black man and he's with you and he's taking care of you and he's not cheating on you and beating on you, that is enough. There's so many more dynamics that make a relationship work. It's not all about what you're not doing, and it's a lot about what you are doing to maintain and keep up with your relationship. And telling me a woman that was putting work in the relationship, a woman that knew her worth, a woman that was trying, that basically I shouldn't be upset because he's a good man. It's okay, you're not gonna find a great black man, so you might as well settle with the man that's not cheating on you and beating on you. At least he's not doing this, at least he's not doing that. I don't want an at least relationship. I'm not an at least woman. I don't give at least energy. But I was told to stay in a relationship that was not good for me, that was hurting me, that was harming me, that was not healthy. Because where else was I going to find a black man that was going to, be with me and take care of things financially? But I knew that we weren't compatible. And I'm not saying that he's a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. He just wasn't the guy for me. And sometimes that happens. But the fact of the matter is, I've seen men have multiple baby mamas and the women accept it in the family, or black women, it's okay. But if black women were to do some of the same things that these men do, if I had a bunch of baby daddies, I would be judged for that. But I was told, because there's a person in my family that has multiple baby mamas, and I said something about it, and I was told that person is a man. thing I never understood about men, well, I'll say males, you guys know how I love to use that word, males, is that you cannot express that you're a leader and you're a mediocre, bare minimum leader. When have you ever been able to just slide through leadership? Why do you get to just slide through life? Why is it that when you're taking care of your responsibilities as a man, like taking care of your kids, you're getting praised for it? Now, if you did something specifically, or if I did something specifically, and I was like, hey, that was dope and admirable, okay. But just getting praised because you're parenting your own child is nuts to me. There's always these expectations for women to go above and beyond and to be the better person, but there's no expectations for these men. That is crazy. I didn't want to accept mediocre because I'm not a mediocre woman. There are black men out there who will love you, respect you, and cherish you. You do not have to settle for less.
The reason why the bar is set so low for black men is because in America, the black man has a unique experience. So while they endured slavery, they also endured the benefits of misogyny, which was attached to patriarchy. So as we fast forward to the future, the decline in the black community is closely linked to black men's inability to provide and support the black family. And when they do get in power positions to change the dynamic of the community, they instead go outside of the community, create an interracial family, create mixed race children, and then those mixed race children, depending on the financial status of the black man and his interracial family now, become a dependent on the community, which is being somewhat upheld by black women via our advocacy and support for one another, for the children, and most importantly, black women advocate for black men. With all of that said, we don't have an expectation of the black man outside of him just simply being black. What that has led to is us not being protected, us being preyed upon, there being no standards, no certain level of expectations of the black man. This is why you can have a community filled with hatred towards the women and children, the black femicide be at an astounding rate, children being killed at alarming rates, and there not being the empathy, compassion, or agency to change the status of the community. Sadly, black men have shown that they would rather the community operate at this level of diabolical degeneracy in order to uphold the benefits that they get. You see, they may say that there's no benefit to the being them, but you're the only male group who can get away with a femicide rate that's higher than every other community. You're the only group of men that can get away with calling your women bitches and hoes. You're the only group of men that could have an illiteracy rate, graduation rate so low and it not be able to be a topic of discussion because it would be considered racist to speak about you in a way, even though in a way that would seem condescending and disrespectful, even though it would be true. They're the only group of men who can engage in seriously disrespectful behavior and it not be allowed to be addressed because of their history with America. And sadly, when other immigrants come to this country and the biracial kids of black men, they are also extended this level of this benefit via the black man. And unfortunately, it doesn't move the community forward, it moves the community backwards. We're a group of women, black women have regressed. And that regression has been via the black man, the rise of black men, the rise of interracial relationships via the black man, and the rise of mixed race children. With all that said, the bar is set so low for black men that we can be knowledgeable of how low the bar is set, what they bring to the community, which is nothing, what they take away from the community, which is everything, and we not be able to address it because we're taught that the plight of the black man is more important than the plight that they give to the black community, the black women, and the black children. With all of that said, I agree with the woman who followed up with a response to this man's initial video. The bar is set very low that when you go to your elders, which is typically black women, as long as that man ain't cheating on you or beating on you, they don't want to hear about it. The definition of a good man, a good black man, varies very differently in the black community compared to the other communities. In these other communities, you got to provide, you got to protect, you got to be a support system, you got to be empathetic, you got to be compassionate to your women and kids. In the black community, that doesn't exist. And sadly, with everything that has gone on in the past with slavery and, you know, our issues related to discrimination and racism present day, black men feel no need to change because there is no benefit to them changing. They receive more benefit to the bar being kept low. And sadly, that impacts the entire community, especially black women. But because black women are so black male identified and so attached to patriarchy and misogyny, the community has not been able to move forward, and we've actually moved backwards. This is something we need to address and we need to fix. Ultimately, this is going to lead to the community being trimmed down. There are a lot of black men who are running around in the communities who should have been taken out via the jail system. But it's black women that's out there advocating for them, and we really need to stop. Get in the comment section. Tell me what you thought about this video. Thanks for watching.